When I had met Dana, I was living with a roommate at the time back in Colorado, and he was what I would call a Southern cooker. And so he loved his beignets and his roux and other things. And so it was heavy in the oil and heavy in other types of things that just taste wonderful, but I didn't think about the ramifications of it at the time. I met Dana and I sort of felt like she was standing on her soapbox a lot of the time, but she wasn't so interested in eating those foods. So I had a much more liberal diet before I met Dana, and she had a much more narrow diet as to what she typically enjoyed. And I would have more varied things, but she's more about function and about, she's okay. Before I moved to LA, she would have a small piece of salmon and a large salad, and that was basically dinner. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I pretty much ate the same thing. I'm a creature of habit, so I pretty much ate the same thing every night for dinner. It was easy, it was quick.
And I would eat more varied things. And so when I moved here, now suddenly we were having to do that more, that bored me to death. I couldn't do that for more than 2 days a week at the most, and it had to be broken up with other things in between. And so we started eating a lot of other things, but I learned that there was very little salt in the house, or no salt in the house, or that she would watch me like a hawk when I had picked up the oil, or there was even oil out of the cupboard. And so I sort of learned that in order to make her happy, that I needed to temper what I did. And so there was a negotiation period where I'd say, well, can I just, I'd put it in my hand, I'd shake the salt in my hand and say, can I put this much in? And she'd say, no, less than that. And I'd, okay, and then I could, and now I'm to the point where I don't even bother taking it out. It's just too much. Why bother?
But he does love to tell people the story about how when he moved in with me, he lost 10 pounds in a matter of weeks. So that I know.
It really made people feel sorry for me for a while there. Oh, I was suffering so poorly because I lost all this weight suddenly, and I really was just. I sort of lost the 10 pounds without knowing it.
Without even trying, I don't even know why it happened or how it happened. It just sort of did, I guess, our melding of our styles of eating and him adopting some of my habits and me adopting some of his. So I think it just naturally sort of settled that way.
We have a point where when I go to the grocery store, if there's 2 different items on the shelf, I take both of them off. I only have to look at one number, the sodium content. And I buy whatever one has less sodium. And I know I can defend that purchase when I get home and she looks at it and goes, it has how much sodium? And I say, well, it was less than the other one. When I think about what allows us to kind of coexist in the life that we have right now and lead a healthier lifestyle, I think a lot of it just comes from both of us compromising. And just sort of, maybe I'll describe it as taking what we knew before as this is what food is, this is what diet is, and dumping it out on the table, both of us. And then just kind of mixing it all together, and then each of us sort of have that, okay, you can throw out 10% of the items, and I throw out 10% of hers, and she throws out 10% of mine, and then we work with what's left. And I feel like we've really just, I don't feel like anything's off limits for me in the way of what I'm willing to consider, if at least try it. And bring into our diet, because I know that whatever she decides that makes sense for us to eat, it's going to be healthy.